So, you want to talk to strangers, but you're worried it'll be awkward, or you'll run out of things to say. In most of the world, you're told that it takes years of practice, countless awkward encounters, and maybe even an expensive How to Win Friends and Influence People seminar. But what you actually become is broke and still awkward at parties. That's not even a joke, but on the bright side, when you make a Reddit post about how you can't make friends, at least your grammar will be impeccable. If you haven't guessed by the title, becoming great at talking to strangers is actually very easy. Even if you think your genetics make you socially inept, if you compare yourself to every other animal, you're actually pretty overpowered. When people like you and me say we want to get better at talking to strangers, it means a bunch of things. 1. We want to start conversations without feeling like we're having a heart attack. 2. We want to keep those conversations going without awkward silences. 3. We want to sound interesting enough that people actually remember us. 4. And lastly, we want to do all this without coming off as a try-hard or a weirdo. The problem is, most advice on the internet is so vague and philosophical that even if it works, the only people who could actually follow it are Tony Robbins and the Dalai Lama. And if you instead look for specific advice that you can actually try right now, this is what you get. Make eye contact. Smile more. Just be yourself. These things sound good, but at some point you have to, actually talk to people. So what can you actually do to become a conversation wizard that's not just the same 6 social hacks from a Pinterest post, copied and pasted from a LinkedIn article, inspired by a quote on a Starbucks cup? The main thing you need to do is master the ping pong method. What kind of method is it? The ping pong method is a way to keep a conversation bouncing back and forth naturally, like a game of verbal table tennis. Here's how it works. 1. You serve up a question. 2. They return with an answer. 3. You lob back some thoughts on their answer. 4. Then you serve up another related question. Keep that volley going. And before you know it, you're having an awesome chat that flows smoother than butter on a hot pancake. Now, how do you actually use this method? It's easy. Let's say you're at a party and you see someone standing alone by the snack table. Instead of awkwardly hovering nearby and pretending to be really interested in the cheese platter, you approach them and serve up your first question. Hey, have you tried the spinach dip? I can't decide if it's amazing or if I'm just really hungry. Now, they might just give a short answer like, yeah, it's good. Don't panic. This is where most people would flounder and either walk away or blurt out an unrelated question. But not you, because you're using the ping pong method. Instead, you lob back some thoughts. I'm glad it's not just me. I always worry at parties that my hunger is clouding my judgment. Last time I raved about some appetizers, I found out later they were just defrosted mini quiches. See what you did there? You shared a little about yourself, added some humor, and kept the conversation on the same topic. Now you can serve up another related question. So, are you more of a savory or sweet snacks person at parties? And just like that, you've got a conversation going. The key is to listen to their answers and use them as springboards for your next comment or question. It's like you're building a conversational ladder, each rung connecting naturally to the next. But here's the real secret sauce. People love talking about themselves and their interests. Your job is to find out what lights them up. Maybe they mention they prefer sweet snacks because they have a killer sweet tooth. Boom. Now you can ask about their favorite desserts, if they bake, or about the best bakery in town. Now you might be thinking, that's great and all, but what if I run into someone who really doesn't want to talk? Well, here's a pro tip. Most people actually do want to talk. They're just waiting for someone else to make the first move. And even if you do run into the occasional true introvert who'd rather eat glass than make small talk, at least you tried. No harm, no foul. The best part about the ping pong method, you don't need years of practice to master it. You can start using it today and see results immediately. It's like a cheat code for social interactions. So next time you're stuck in an elevator with a stranger, or waiting in a long line, or sitting next to someone on a plane, remember, you've got all the skills you need to turn that potential awkward silence into an engaging conversation.